أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I welcome you all to another episode of Tajweed, and inshallah today we are going to look into another surah, which is Surah At-tahreem, the verse number 3. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ أسر النبي إلى بعض أزواجه حديثا فلما نبأت به وأظهره الله عليه عرف بعضه وأعرض عن بعض فلما نبأها به قالت من أنبأك هذا قال نبأني العليم الخبير. MashaAllah. Now we are now going to identify each tajweed rule governing this particular verse. So we are going to start. وَإِذْ أَسَرَّ النَّبِيُّ. So what we are firstly going to observe here is the rule governing this alif al-lam, that is the lam ta'rif. So this type of rule we've discussed about it earlier in our previous classes, which is known as idgham lam shamsiyya, right? So whenever the lam ta'rif has been assimilated into another letter, so just know that it is known as idgham, and that is idgham that you've done there, and then the lam they must change to lam shamsiyya, and we've known all the letters that belongs to that one. So then the next one that we are going to be identifying is the gunna, that is the nasalization, so which is in this noon, and this type of noon is known as the noon mushaddada, that is stretched noon, and the stretched noon refers to noon having a shadda, right? So and it could be nun shadda or mim shadda. So there is a particular place in the tajweed books of tajweed that you are going to come across such. So it could be nun shadda or mim shadda, and then once you come across this, what is you need to do is that the nasalization, that is the pronunciation of any of these two letters, either nun shadda or mim shadda, when you come across them, that is the pronunciation should be coupled with a clear nasalization. That is, the nasalization should be very clear, then it should be made to the hearing of the people. Do you understand it? That is a izhar bigunna. So the nasalization should be very clear. So that is what is happening to this one, and whether you come across this type of nun shadda or mim shadda, either in the middle of the word or at the end of the word, so you are going to do the nasalization to this one. So you have to make the nasalization very clear. So this is mim shadda. So and what we just did there, that is the izhar bigunna. So the nasalization has been heard. So let's go further. وَإِذْ أَسَرَّ النَّبِيُّ إِلَى. You can see that the lam has been elongated. So, and this type of elongation is known as al-mad al-asli. Yeah, we've discussed about mad al-asli, which has the duration of only 1 second. So let's continue. إِلَى بَعْضِ أَزْوَاجِهِ. The wa on azwaji. So the wa'un is also attached with mad, and this type of mad again is known as al-mad al-asli. It also have the duration of only 1 second. So let's go further. إلى بعض أزواجه حديثا أزواجه حديثا. So as you can see, as I'm reciting continuously, I elongated the ha'un. So this ha'un, and this type of elongation is known as maddu sila. So and maddu sila is a type of elongation that occurs only in a masculine ha of a pronoun. So and the ha of pronoun is a pronominal suffix that indicates the third person singular pronoun when in the accusative or genitive case. So you can, as you can see here, we have the, for example, you are praying to someone, you say which is a male, you are going to say Allahumma gfir lahu, for example. I'm just citing an example. So the word lahu, you get it. So the ha'un that you now prolong in the case where you are connecting the two words, do you understand? So that is where we are going to elongate it. As you can see here, I said azwajihi haditha. I elongated this the ha'un. So why do I elongate it, and what are the rules? Inshallah, before we go further, we are going to know the letters of maddu sila. That is, in case of madulin, it also have its own letters, which happens to be ya'un and wa'un. What of that of a maddu sila? Maddu sila too goes along with ya'un mad and wa'un mad. And whenever the ha'un of pronoun has kasra, that is the elongation letter that will be behind it, the long vowel is going to be ya'un mad. If it is a dhamma that is above the ha of a pronoun, so the elongation type, letter type, will be wa'un mad. Then what are the rules that that is governing this particular maddu sila that will now enable you to either elongate it or not? So its rules does not apply to any of the ha of pronoun, which has the following. The first one is that whenever you come across the ha of a pronoun, when it is preceded by a vowelless letter, that is a letter which is having sukun, a sakin, as in the case of in this particular verse that we are reciting, you see in the word alayhi arrafa ba'dahu wa a'radu an ba'd. Alayhi, do you understand? The word alayhi, if I'm to connect it with the second word arrafa, so the ha on you is not going to be elongated. Or you come across the word fihi, you understand? Fi, you understand? So it's not going to be elongated. But there is a place in the Glorious Qur'an. So before so it's not going to be elongated, simply because you can see in the word alayhi, you can see the letter before ha on happens to be ya uskun, right? And in case of fihi, that is fi, or then that is you see that the letter before it, which is a ya uskun, so that is what we are referring to. That is a letter with a sakin should not precede it. But in case of there is a place where it is exempted, that we are allowed to elongate this type of mad, which is in Surah Al-Furqan, verse 69. If you are reciting the verse, if you come towards the ending part, that is وَيَخْلُدِ فِيهِ مُهَانًا. So the ha on there, you are going to elongate it, and you can see the sign of there, that ya on, that is ya on mad. Do you understand it? So you are going to say fihi muhana. Do you understand it? And then at the same time, there is also a place in Surah At-tahreem, verse number 7. If you are also reciting it in the verse number 7 of Surah At-tahreem, there is also a place where with this rule that is applicable, that is, there is no vowelless letter before the ha on, but still the elongation That is not it was not elongated. So the elongation is exempted. That is, you are not going to elongate it in that area. That is when you come to the verse number 7 of Surah At-tahreem, when you're reciting, you come towards this. That is, وَإِن تَشْكُرُوا يَرْضَهُ لَكُمْ. Do you understand? I just say يَرْضَهُ لَكُمْ. I didn't say يَرْضَهُ لَكُمْ. Do you get it? So it's going to be read as يَرْضَهُ لَكُمْ. Do you understand it? So you are not going to elongate in that area. Do you understand? So there is a place where it was exempted when there is second before that letter, right? Before the haon or pronoun, that you are going to elongate, and you see the sign of that the mad in front of the haon. That is in case of fihi muhana, Surah Al-Furqan, verse number 69. And then there is also a place which is exempted, that you are not going to elongate it at all. That is in case of a Surah Al-Zumar, verse number 7. Do you understand it? That if you come across it there, you are not going to elongate it. Do you understand? Do you understand it? That is in case of وَإِن تَشْكُرُوا يَرْضَهُ لَكُمْ. Do you understand it? Okay, that is the fourth rule. That is, we need to know that is the letter shouldn't be preceded by any vowelless letter, and then we explain it where the places where they are exempted. Then apart from that, there is another rule, which is the letter should not be short-stated, that is by a vowelless letter. That is, after the letter haun, you shouldn't come across any letter that has sakin. And when you come across a letter with sakin, it means that the elongation of that letter is not going to occur. So no elongation for that. If you come to Surah At-tahreem, for example, if you go to Surah At-tahreem, so you will see that in the first verse, Abu-Zulaikha Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, يسبح لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض له الملك وله الحمد. Do you understand? You say lahul mulku wa lahul hamd. Do you understand it? So lahul mulk, you can see the haun is there, but we are not going to elongate it because there is sakin behind it or in front of it, right? Or that's behind. It's succeeded by a sakin. Do you understand it? So that is another thing you need to know. So, and then when it appears, that is the haun again, when you come across it, that is the third rule that you need to know. When you come across it, that is in between two sakin, in between two vowelless letters, as in this phrase, إِلَيْهِ الْمَصِيرُ, إِلَيْهِ الْمَصِيرُ. So if you observe in the first word, which is إِلَيْهِ, you see that there is yaskun before the haun, and then in front of it, which is having the word start with alif lam, and this type of lam, that is the izhar, right? So you have to hear the sound of the lam should be heard. So here you know that you are not going to elongate it. Do you understand it? So there is sakin on that lam, so you are not going to elongate it in this case. So that is ilayhil masir. Do you understand it? So, and then that is these are the rules for that for the haun. And then and then I want you to know not something again. It is only when you are connecting this haun, that is if you are reciting continuously, if you do not stop there, like I said, إِلَى بَعْضِ أَزْوَاجِهِ حَدِيثًا. But what if I'm to stop at the word azwaji? That is how I'm going to say. I will just say azwaji, right? So I'm going to just sakin to the data. You understand it? And then what are the types of mad sila? So it has two types. We have the qasira. It is a qasira whenever it is succeeded by any of the Arabic letters, exception of al-hamzatul qat'. So any other letters apart from hamzatul qat', so just know that is what is known as mad sila to qasira. So, but if in the case after the letter haun then you come across al-hamzatul qat behind it, then just know that you are going to elongate it more than 1 second. For the qasira, that is it only has the measure of 2 haraka, that is 1 second. But for the tawila, which is when hamzatul qat appears immediately after the letter ha'un, which you are going to elongate it like that of a madul jaiz al-munfasil, either 2 haraka, 4 haraka, or 5 haraka. Do you understand it? But it is connecting. When you are connecting the words, if you stop, it will just become deactivated. Do you understand? So if we check on the verse number 5 of this same surah that we are talking, if you come across asa rabbuhu in talaqakun, do you understand? So you can see that the word rabbuhu, I elongated the ha. So that is for the hamzatul qat. And when we say hamzatul qat, that is disjunctive hamza, is any hamza that must be pronounced whether it comes at the beginning or middle of recitation. Do you understand it? So this type of elongation that we now saw here, that is azwajihi haditha. So this is al-maddu sila, then qasira, maddu sila to qasira. Do you understand it? So now let's move further. Azwajihi haditha, the dalun has been elongated, and this type of elongation is known as al-maddul asli, right? If I'm to stop on that word as I just did, that is azwajihi haditha, I pauses on the tanween, which is the double stroke above, that is a fathatan. So, and this type of elongation is known as al-maddul iwab. So you understand it? But if I am to proceed now, so let's see. إلى بعض أزواجه حديثا فلما نبأت به. So I now say حديثا فلما نبأت به. So the nasalization that between the tha'un and that of fa, so this is إخفاء حقيقي. So an إخفاء حقيقي as we discussed. Then فلما, the nasalization there on the mim shadda. So we have discussed about mim shadda earlier, or nun shadda earlier, that is the stretch noon. So this is another one, which is the stretch noon, or meme, sorry. It is the stretch meme. I said the nasalization should be clearly pronounced, right? That is, you have to pronounce it. The nasalization of this of the meme shadda or nun shadda very clear, so that it will be here. Clear nasalization to be here. That is izharul bigunna. So let's go further. At the same time, I said falamma, right? The meme is also being elongated after the nasalization has been elongated. So this type of elongation is known as al-madd al-asli, right? فَلَمَّا نَبَّأَتْ بِهِ وَأَظْهَرَهُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. So you can see I said bihi, I elongated the ha'un, right? So bihi وَأَظْهَرَهُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. Do you understand it? So this is another maddu silatu qasira. Do you understand it? So let's go further. وَأَظْهَرَهُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. So in the name of Allah, that is Allah, they say أَظْهَرَهُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. So the lam has been heavily sound, that is at-tahreem. So in the word of majesty, right? So وأظهره الله عليه عرف بعضه وأعرض عن بعض. So I said بعضه, right? بعضه وأعرض عن بعض, right? The haun again, you can see it again here, and where we said is known as a madu silatu qasira. Do you understand it? Then let's go further. وَأَعْرَضَ عَنْ بَعْض. So the nasalization that we have here is known as al-iqlab, right? So the noon has been replaced with mim. So, and this is an alteration, right? So that is al-iqlab. Do you understand it? So let's go further. فَلَمَّا نَبَّأَهَا بِهِ. Do you understand? So فَلَمَّا, as I've explained it earlier, which is the mim shadda here. So that is mim shadda, right? Mim mushaddada, afwan. Yeah, mim mushaddada. Then you know that you are going to do izhar bi gunna. So then the elongation too is a model asli, right? Then let's go further. فَلَمَّا نَبَّأَهَا بِهِ, right? The ha onto has been elongated, and this type of elongation is known as al-mad al-asli. فَلَمَّا نَبَّأَهَا بِهِ قَالَتْ مَنْ أَنْبَأَكَ هَذَا. So as you can observe, as I stopped on the earlier, instead of saying فَلَمَّا نَبَّأَهَا بِهِ, you can see I did not elongate the haun, but as I'm connecting the two words coming together, I said فَلَمَّا نَبَّأَهَا بِهِ قَالَتْ. You understand? So the bihi, that is al-madu silatu qasira. You understand it? That is a madu silatu qasira. So the qafun too has been elongated. So that is a al-madu al-asli, right? So قالت من أنبأك هذا. من أنبأك, that is man. So this type of a rule is known as that is izharul halqi. That is izharul halqi. So the nun should be clearly pronounced. Do you understand it? So without any nasalization, even though the nasalization is still existing, but it's just 0.5 seconds. Do you understand it? So man ba'ak. So the ba'un, which is the nasalization here between that of nun, you see after the nun is like the letter that appear next is letter ba'un, which we've shown it earlier before, and that is al-iqlab, right? Man anba'aka hadha. The ha'un has been elongated, that's al-mad al-asli, and then dhalun too has been elongated, that is another mad al-asli. هذا, just for 1 second. Do you understand? قال right? قال نبأني العليم الخبير. That is قال, that qafun too has been elongated, that is al-mad al-asli, right? نبأني العليم الخبير. Al-alim, that is the alif wa lam, that is what I'm referring to. Qala nabba'ani al-alim. Do you understand? So the alif wa lam here, this is what is known as izharul lam al-qamariyah. Do you understand it? So and this we know the letters ibqi hajjaka wa khaf aqimahu, right? So those are the letters, or the whenever they come across behind the alif wa lam, so you are going to do izhar for them. So you don't forget, this is lam ta'rif, and when it has been clearly pronounced, it changes to lam al-qamariyah. So, and that is izhar for that one. So nabba'ani al-alimul khabir. So you can see the elongation that I just made here, al-alimul khabir, that is on the lam. In front of the lam there is a letter of elongation, that is al-mad al-asli. So Al-alimul khabir. So the lam too in the word al-khabir, you see that we've heard the sound of the lam, and this is another example of al-izharul lam al-qamar. Do you understand it? So on the last word again, that is al-khabir. That is the last elongation that I just made. That is madul arid lis-sukun. Inshallah, with this we've come to the end of today's class. When next we meet, inshallah, we are going to be talking on another surah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah forgive us our sins and grant of Jannatul Firdaus.